hey, lovely people. It is your girl, Kia Simone. Yes, it's me. I'm here for story time. Let's just get in and talk about it. But before we just get in, I want you guys to make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment. Help a sister out. You know, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I do these random lives. Yes, so you guys said you like when I tell my stories. So I'm just trying to give you guys what you've been asking for. So, yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe most importantly. I do have my book on sale. My book is on sale for 10 bucks for a limited time on Amazon. So this holiday sale is it's limited, so you better go ahead and grab you a few copies. Get a couple copies. Do a book club with your girls. And who knows, you can invite me to the book club. Hey, we can just make it do what it do. So yes, make sure you get your copy of From Pain to Love by Kia Simone. Make sure you type in From Pain to Love by Kia Simone because there's another author out there with a similar name. And we just want to make sure you're getting my book, okay? So let's just jump right into story time. Yes. So this is the story when I was about to drag me a chick, okay? So listen, again, I'm gonna tell y'all again. Don't judge me, judge your mama. And I always say that, and it's only in fun, okay? So I'm not telling you, it's just my way of letting you know that, I have a past. We all sometimes we don't like to tell the truth. We like, want to pretend like we live these perfect lives, but I know why my life wasn't perfect, okay? That's probably why I'm in the house now. I'm always in the house now before not even 9 o'clock. It's like 8 o'clock and I'm already in the house, ready for bed. So, when you live a good life, a fun life, at that point, you're just on straight chill mode. And that's where I'm at in my life right now. So let me just give you a history on this story. So on this particular story, the story where I almost dragged a chick, it was a lot of things that led up to it. You know, okay. So if you missed the story time about jailhouse pimping, you might want to go back and watch that one. It's titled "When I Ran Into His Pregnant Baby Mama in the Jail Waiting Room," something like that. But just go back and watch that one, and you can get a little history on how we got here. Okay, so I'm not proud of it, but your girl Kia Simone was a cheater, okay? Yeah, I made a mistake. I cheated, okay? But, there's no justification behind it, but, it was one of those like shotgun like weddings, like, hey, what are you doing on Tuesday? Oh, nothing. No, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get married. So bad idea because it was just so like random. So when the proposal came, if you want to call it that, Mr. Zeke was still in jail. Yeah, Mr. Zeke. So again, you got to go back and listen to the previous live with story time if you want to figure out how did we get here. So Mr. Zeke was still in jail, and Mr. David came home first. He touched down. Yes, he touched down. So Mr. David was, home. Hey, hey, how you doing? So, um, I was acting like a dude. I wanted to hit it first. So when I hit it, I was like, oops, my fault. So, what's that movie back? I think it was Harlem Nights when the dude called his house with the wife and the kids answered the phone and he was like, well, tell your mama I ain't coming back home. Well, that was kind of like my situation. I was just like, at the time, my brother and I, we were roommates. So I just basically was like, brother man, I'm not coming home. I'm over here with Mr. David. So me and Mr. David, we were doing fine, yeah, because the sex was hot, everything was popping, it was all good. I mean, that's all that counted was good, hot, passionate sex. So, I knew that Mr. Zeke was coming home soon from from jail. I knew this, but I was like, hey, I'll deal with it when the time comes. So I was messy as heck. Oh my gosh. Like, but see, the thing about when I was messy, it was just like the women, we can't play the same game the guys play because eventually we get caught up. So basically, these guys were not innocent, but I'm just owning up to what my role that I played, because it wasn't like David was a saint and it wasn't like Zeke was a saint, but I'm gonna own my part. So I was, torn between two guys. I was torn between Mr. David and Mr. Zeke. And it just happened that Mr. David touched down first. So, fast forward, we go ahead and go to the church. Church is cold, should have been signed, but David's at the altar, sweating profusely, like, okay. So we say our dues. Now we're supposed to be happily married. Not. Okay. So, I got caught up with Mr. Zeke when he touched down. Yep. Sorry. Did I, gave in to temptation, you know? So I felt bad about it. So, feeling bad about it, I, was like, okay, you know what? Let me just end this relationship with Mr. David. So I went and, got me another apartment. And I was like, because, I can't go back to the other apartment because I was roommates with my brother. But, I told him basically I wasn't coming back. So now he's moving. His girlfriend is moved in with him. So it's like, okay, let me go find me a new spot. So I went and found me a new spot. I was just gonna go on about my life. I'm like, okay, I messed up. I cheated with Mr. Zeke. Um, you know, it is what it is. So David still wanted to, work it out or whatever. Now, he know if I was cheating at this point in life? I really don't know. It really doesn't make a difference. But I was just gonna try to turn over a new leaf. Okay, I did wrong in my mind. Let me just do right. Okay. So, I'm like, okay, let's put water up under the bridge. Again, I don't know, present day, he says he knew, but people lie. Or, who knows? Who really knows? So, or maybe he just couldn't prove it. Maybe his intuition said it because he wasn't in the bed with me and Zeke. So, again, I did what I did and I'm not proud of it, but I'm gonna take ownership of my part. So, when we got back together, me and Mr. David. And when I say got back together, because remember I said that I had a whole nother apartment. So I'm living in my other apartment. And I wasn't really living there. I was just going there during the daytime. And no, it wasn't a cheating pad. So I never brought Zeke to the apartment. It was just like I was on my way out. So, me and David, we actually decided that we were gonna, work it out. And again, in my mind, I was like, I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm gonna let Mr. Zeke, leave him alone. I'm gonna do right. Okay, let's just be a big girl. Let's, act like a grown up. Let's do right. Okay. So, I left Zeke alone, went on about my life. I'm trying to, be the wife that I know that I can be. Everything seemed like, it's okay. Oh, child. Whew. Okay, so then it comes out that the affair happened. Okay, so that's a whole nother story time that I may tell you later, and I may not tell you the blow up between that. But tonight we're talking about this situation. So, after the whole cheating thing was exposed to David, he, you know, he was gonna leave, and then he decided he was gonna leave, and I really did want him to stay at the time because it was like at this point, like, hey, now I'm in it. And that's another lesson learned that, both parties have to be in it at the same time, but we were never in our whole entire relationship in the relationship at the same time. We were when I wanted it, he wanted it, didn't want it, and vice versa. So that's just the story of our lives. So, it was a new after that situation happened, um, it was a female that came around. Um, and it was a reason, it was I'm just gonna call it a tragedy today. So something bad happened, and this young lady was brought into our lives. So I'm trying to, trying to be cool with the situation because again, I'm trying to, make this thing work. I'm trying. I'm trying. I did wrong. I'm trying. So every time I would turn around, she was just always somewhere. Wherever we were at, she was there. We go to church, she's there. We go to his mother's house, she's there. We go shopping for motorcycles, she's there. So it was like every time I turn around, she was there. And I was like, okay, now listen. Whew. And the guilt of me doing what I did clouded my judgment because I was trying to, make the things work or, make up for my bad judgment or just make up for my wrongdoings. So I'm looking like, okay, this girl, this is like too much. So then I'm asking him, like, okay, so is there anything going on with you and her? Because, um, like, why are you continuing this thing with me? Basically, it's just like, okay, what is going on? So he's like, no, 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 no. You're just guilty about, what you did. I'm not messing with her, yada, 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 yada. Okay. So I'm still like in my gut telling me that something is not right, something is not right, something is not right. So this just went on and went on and it went on. So I'm like, like, so here we go. This is the part of the story that gets good. So, again, mind you, everywhere he just end up, she just somehow just magically appear, just everywhere. So, I'm at his mom's house one day. Um, I can't even remember why I was there. So her cell phone rings. So, I answered his mom's cell phone, and I'm like, "Hello." So it's the girl on the phone. And she's like, so she's talking, so she didn't recognize that it was my voice. And she was like, oh, well, I'm just calling to say that David is in jail. He, got, the police have him, they've taken him down to the jail. So I'm thinking like, well, how, how do you know? How did you know to call his mother? Where did you get her number from? How often have you been talking to her? Like, what's this is like a whole mess. So finally the mom come downstairs and I'm like, hey, she wanna talk to you, that, she's talking about it, he's in jail, yada 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 yada. So I'm like, okay, why would she call my phone? Like, I'm like, girl, why would you call my phone? I'm his wife. I'm not the girlfriend, the side chick. I'm not nothing, I'm his wife. So why wouldn't you call me? Well, he just told me to call you, call his mama. Okay. So, I'm like, that's why you can't get emotional because when you get emotional, you don't think rationally, and you do stuff that will come back to get you. So I'm sitting there like trying to question the mom. She's trying to like make it make sense, justify, basically trying to calm me down because she knew I was on 100. Yes. So I was like, no, 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 this ain't making sense. Why is she calling you? And what this like because again, you guys got to remember, everywhere me and him would go, somehow she would pop up. Again, she was at the church, she was at the dinner, she was at this place, she was at this place. We go, shopping for motorcycles. Somehow she's just at the place with the motorcycles. So it was just like this girl was everywhere, and I was just like, okay, I can't. So this was the straw that broke the camel back. So I was like, before I gave the mama the phone, I was like on the phone, I was like, so let me just tell you this. When I go up to the precinct to go get my husband, you bet not be there because if you are there, I will drag you. Now, why would I say that? That's a threat. So for me to say, I will drag you, and then I'm gonna drag you at a police station, like, and I really was gonna drag her at the police station if I would have seen her, because at that point I was pissed off. It was just like, okay, I know I cheated on this man. I get it. And I don't think he was, in the current day, I don't think he was innocent and all this, but he was just gonna let me wear all the baggage. So with that being said, so I'm like this, I'm just going off or whatever. But again, I was in drag mode. I was like, I will drag you. So again, I was not being making, you never fight another woman over a man. But at that point, I was just like over it. So the mom comes downstairs or whatever. She's like trying to figure out what's going on. And again, the mom is always, one of the ones that, try to, she's just trying to sugarcoat stuff. And I'm like, girl, no, no, no. This is some real stuff. Don't try to make it make sense or make it like this is the only number this girl knew. And again, it's more to this story. So I'm like, okay. Um, I get in my car. So again, the mom knows like I said, in my back in my day, I was about that life. And the mom knew. So I get in the car, and before I can like pull off, the mom calls, I guess, the pastor. So the pastor is a pastor slash attorney. So the mom, I don't even know how she called him that fast. I don't know if she was calling him to get her son out of jail. I don't know. But next thing you know, the pastor slash attorney is on my phone. Like, now listen here. You know it don't make sense for you to go up to the jail and da da da. Then I would have to come get two people out of the jail. This, don't go up there acting a fool, this and that or whatever. So I'm like, but she don't got no business up there. If the other girl is up there, when I get up there, I'm telling you, I'm dragging her. So I'm still talking cash money junk because I'm still in my emotions. Again, this is why you cannot be in unhealthy relationships, because that relationship was dead a long time ago before the marriage even happened. But I was like, just like, how dare you? How the level of disrespect, that it was just like, you got the nerves to call your mom to get you out, and it was just like crazy. Like, just the thought process when you be in some mess that you can't even think straight. It was just like, it was crazy. So the pastor slash attorney is like, don't do it, whatever, yada 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 yada. So, I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, after the pastor, maybe he prayed before he called me. And I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm not, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But yes, I was literally going to drag a chick. And at the police station, who does that? Like, do you know how fast they would have arrested me? Like, you coming in here dragging a chick? But it's like the level of disrespect. And then I was like, dude, when you knew about Zeke. So that's the whole thing. Like, you knew that I had a boo when you got home, when you touched down first. So yeah, I could have, whatever, but you had to know that there was still some feelings there. So at the end of the day, just like I'm taking accountability that, like, yeah, I should have, said no, but to the, supposed whatever marriage proposal. But it was just like, it was a whole big mess. But yeah, I was going to drag a chick. I was literally about to drag her. And so later on, like when something else happened, he was like, but you said that you was gonna drag her. That's why she's scared. I'm like, well, she was out of line. Because we didn't break up after that situation, me and him. It was years before we actually broke up. So that's a whole nother story y'all have to come back for. But yes, so disrespectful. And then so he gets out or whatever. And it wasn't even his fault this time, because a lot of times he do, be on some shenanigans. But this time he did actually got it was really some just for being black, how he got caught up. But we have to pay attention sometimes when God provides a way out, because God will show us signs, but we choose to ignore those signs. That was a sign right there. That sign was so bright that I could probably see it from Canada. Okay. It was like blaring. Okay. Like, okay, why was she there? Friend or no friend, it was a level of disrespect. And again, what I did in the beginning was not right, but if he was going to supposedly forgive me and make it work, all that extra stuff wasn't supposed to come with it. So That is my story time. I was going to drag a chick, drag her in the police station. You know, I'm just so glad that God has gotten me together where that's not my mindset. I'm enjoying this single period. It's an awesome thing. It's awesome when you can reflect and laugh at the things that you've been through and you know that, it's nothing but God, and you just like it's just amazing. So if you guys want to hear more of my stories, make sure you put in the comments. We want to hear more, and I will continue to come back with you with story time because these stories, I have so many stories. But again, in order for you to understand this story, you have to go back and watch the one about jailhouse pimping. Yes. Well, I don't think I'll be making any more tonight, but until next time, I love you guys, and I do want you guys to get a copy of this book. Again, this book was a lot of just hard work. But hey, if there was no David, if there was no Zeke, if there was no Bula Bay, there probably I wouldn't have been inspired. So they inspired me, they tried to, ruin my life and, they were doing some shady things. But guess what? At the end of the day, you know, I'm just, living my and walking in my purpose, whatever God has for me. But again, love you guys. Until next time, peace.